Hello everyone and welcome to my project presentation video for week 9. Firstly, let's get started with the foam core chair project. For the in-class portion of this project, I did abysmally. I came with low quality materials, which in the end caused huge amounts of problems. Primarily that the glue I got was low quality and refused to stick anything together. All I managed to accomplish in the allocated time was cutting out all of the pieces and then sticking some legs together. Though I learned from my mistake, and when I reattempted this at home with better materials, I met with considerably more success. Next up we have the tracing exercises. I think both of these turned out quite well, and the way I actually did that was using double-sided tape to affix the picture over the tracing paper and an improvised light box made from a lamp. From there, it was a relatively simple but time-consuming process to actually trace out and fill in all of the details. For the majority of the filling in, I used both a bullet and a chisel tip marker, and for the very fine details, such as the seconds around the watch, I used an art liner to fill it out a little. I'll only briefly cover the sketching task, because I felt that was probably one of my weakest points. I only managed to create satisfactory sketches after many attempts at home, and even then they aren't very good. This final one displayed here was probably my best out of all of them, but even so I still got some of the line work wrong and the shading is a bit excessive in some areas. Up next we have the found item compositions. With these I experimented with a few different things, such as the creation of geometric and traditional shapes, scale, and trying to include environmental factors into the designs. While strictly not part of the brief of that particular task, I also tried introducing 3D elements into the 2D designs by stacking various objects. That, coupled with a bit of asymmetrical design, rounds out my compositions. For the photo framing task, I mainly focused on highlighting what I believe to be missed or underappreciated areas within certain artwork, or even at times simply just reframing art to highlight a different perspective. Admittedly though, I did struggle with this at times, as when I could actually see sometimes what I wanted to do, I found the technical limitations of the camera's focus ability sometimes frustrating, and also gloss paper reflecting light too much at such close range. I found the personal mark exercise actually a lot of fun. Having a little experience in graphic design work, I sort of fell back into a pattern I'd used before, which consists of, after identifying a key concept I want to work with, I then experiment until I find something I like, and then take it further from there. Something I identified early on that I really liked was the letter J for the start of my name, and the number 4. So in the early concepting stage where I was just experimenting, I tried a hybrid where I worked both in, and it ended up working out really well, so I concepted further, and my final design was a variation on the improvements. Finally, the anti-design project. This was an interesting project, as I've never had to before design a inferior product, I guess you'd call it. Anyway, once I got into the swing of things, I actually started having some fun coming up with bad ideas. Some of my ideas included the soulless shoe, the adult-proof lid, and the permanent bike lock, but the one I ended up going with for my final design was the sugar candy glass. By changing the material of a typical drinking glass and replacing it with sugar candy, you turn a proven design into an extremely brittle and water-soluble cup with promises of being environmentally friendly and biodegradable, but having introduced fatal design flaws. And that covers all of the design work to date. Thank you everyone for watching.